What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and welcome to another episode of Make It or Break It. Today we're taking a look at the 2018 Yoda's Hut from Space Wars. This is the Lepin version, and we're going to be comparing it against the 2018 LEGO's Yoda's Hut, just to see how it stacks up. This one should get interesting. Yeah, and what's also a point I wanted to mention is it came in this wonderful poly bag. I didn't get the box just because the shipping made it more expensive if you did get the box, but this should make for an interesting review, see how it compares, and we're going to ask that age-old question whether it makes it or it breaks it. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to start us off, let's just begin by opening her up. Show you guys the contents. Build up the minifigs and give you guys my first initial reaction on it. See how they are. This is the manual. Now, I want to mention this. Are these the original actors? Like, they just look, especially Rey. That does not look like Rey, but I could be wrong. On the back here, they have all the Space War sets. You guys are getting excited. Check all those beauties out. And then here's the actual manual. Actually, the quality is not terrible. It's a little bit more rigid than Lego's, but this isn't the worst I've seen. Maybe Lepin's getting better. But yeah, let's build her up. Let's actually show you guys the minifigs. And they're actually just contained in this little bag right here. So one thing I will say about... Okay, actually that opens up relatively easy. So here you have them. You get all that good stuff. Let's build up Yoda first. Here we have all the minifigs built up. So what's interesting actually is they had a lot of the minifig pieces in one of the bags, but then the rest were kind of all spread out. So we'll just briefly show you. Here's Luke. Here's Yoda. This is the thing of nightmares, guys. He has a pupil, and then the other one doesn't have a pupil. Like, just black dead eye. Anyways, we're gonna get into it, and then we have R2. We'll compare them against the Lego versions. One thing I wanted to mention too before we move on is this set was worth about 12 US and the Lego version was worth about 30 US. So just bear that in mind. This set's about a third, not quite a third of what, the Lego set's worth, but basically a third. Anyways, those are the figs. Let's continue to build her up. Okay, so we're all done building her up. And I have to say the build experience actually wasn't that terrible. Like, I've had other Lepin sets in the past and they're awful. This one, my hands don't feel overly greasy. My hands are a little sore, or I guess like just a little worn, just because some of the pieces are just not as smooth. And you have to really sometimes smash these pieces in to go and make them click. So it's not a perfect experience, I'm not saying that, but what we're going to do now is just actually show you guys all the little features for the set, and then we're going to compare it against the Lego version. And to start us off, we'll actually just begin by giving you guys a 360 view of the Lepin model, or the Star Wars, the Star Plan. I get a kick out of the name, actually. Let me just make sure. It's the Space Wars. I'm sorry, guys. I got to get my Star Plan, my Space Wars. I got to get them in order. But all in all, I will say that this model actually doesn't look terrible. Like, it's not bad. The other thing you'll notice is just the interior of this. So it opens up to reveal a very nice looking little kitchen. It's very similar with the Lego model as well. What we're really going to see the differences in this model, I think, is maybe the features, how they work. If they work good, if they don't. What's cool about it is you can actually pull this out, and all of this is identical to the Lego version. And you can set up Luke. Now what he can actually do right here, let's see if this actually works well with Lepin. Yeah, so that pretty well works the same with Lego. The other feature too is this little area right here, and actually let's adjust the camera a little bit when we do that. I think that the features actually work the same. The biggest difference, well, I don't want to give it away, but yeah, that works well as well. The other thing you can kind of do is you can set Luke up and make it like he's lifting the rocks. And there, as you guys can see, there he is. So I'm noticing the features all in all are quite similar to the LEGO version. I'm not seeing a big difference in quality. Again, the big difference in quality is just how much you have to snap the pieces, and sometimes how much the we're gonna get into this when we compare the minifigs, but just things like that jut out. It's just not the same. The big difference I'm finding so far is the minifigs. But you know what we're gonna do now is I'll just take the LEGO version, and we'll show the LEGO version and the Lepin version side by side. Here we have the two sets side by side. So which one's real, which one's fake? Well, you probably are able to figure out which one's fake, mainly because Yoda's dead black eyes. That's obviously the fake version, but I will say the model itself, looking at it from side to side, it's hard to tell which one's LEGO and which one's not. Like, let's get the figs out of the way. You'd be hard pressed if you were to, if you were looking at this set on a shelf and you're like, oh, that's LEGO. You'd have to get really close and see that there's no LEGO logos on it. Obviously, there's going to be some rougher pieces as you feel it, because there's even a feel, like the LEGO version just feels a lot smoother, if that's a thing. But I will say that the model is not the problem with this set. Like, the quality actually is not terrible on the fake version. The real version is obviously better. But I have to say again, this Lepin version is actually not that bad as far as the actual build goes. Obviously, again, the LEGO version is a better overall set. We're going to notice with the minifigs, it's much, much better. But I'm actually very surprised at how good the Lepin version is as far as the build goes. But where it just goes completely downhill is on the minifigs. Let's check those guys out. So we're actually going to start off with Luke Skywalker, who in my opinion is actually the best quality Lepin minifig out of the batch, if we can say that. So as you guys can see, his face is a little bit different than Luke's. The torso has much less detail than Luke. You can probably tell that on the left is the real version. And then the legs, I don't know what happened with the legs, but what is going on? Those look like nothing. They look nothing like the actual LEGO legs. Let's just flip them around. And we'll actually take off their hair pieces just to kind of show their back face. I actually don't want to get these mixed. Although you can still tell which one's fake, which one's real, but the hair pieces get a little bit more difficult. So as you can see, it's not bad on LEGO's part. I mean, LEGO's part did a good job, but it's not bad on Lepin's part. But it's not great. Like, you can just tell that the ink is just a little bit thicker. There's just a little bit less detail on the fig. All in all, this is probably the best one, though, out of the batch. We're gonna get into the next one, and yeah, guys, it gets bad. And here's the next two. So it's progressively getting worse. Okay, this one, unlike the Luke, actually, he moved pretty good, the fake version. This R2 is very stiff to kind of move. And what is going on with his face? Like, look at how clean the R2 LEGO version looks, and look what this one looks like. Like, I don't know, like, the quality's just not there, right? But it's just bad. This is where I've noticed the set really starts to tank, obviously, is with the figs. As you guys can see, though, the torso itself doesn't look too bad, like the muddy torso compared to the LEGO version. It's not awful. It's just, again, this head. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't even have the little purple light that is on the LEGO version. Moving them around, let's just show you guys the back. There's not much to see here. But again, oh, like, check it out. The printing's not even identical. Like, it's different on the LEGO version than it is on the fake version. I just actually noticed that. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, that's R2. As you can see, it's getting bad, but guys, it gets worse. And here it is, this is the worst part of this entire set. Again, the Lepin set itself wasn't actually too bad. The quality wasn't too bad. Luke was okay. R2, bad. This is terrible. So if you notice the pupils, these are the things of nightmares, folks. Like, this Yoda, plus I just noticed his torso isn't even identical. I believe that this is the kind of the old school 2002 Yoda's torso, and I believe, don't quote me on that, and it's not the same. Like, I'm just blown away by the differences. If you notice the back, I mean, it's just completely, it's opposite. Like, it's not the same piece at all. The coloring's almost identical, but again, like, come on, Lepin, if you want to make good fake stuff, if that's a thing, you got to put a little bit more work into those pupils, because that just is, I want to burn this guy. Like, I don't want this minifig anywhere near me. And now that we got the minifigs out of the way, bit of the excitement. I mean, this Yoda is terrifying. I mean, just again, that is a thing of nightmares. But now we've come to the question of whether it makes it or it breaks it. For me, this breaks it. Now, if we're talking from a quality standpoint, the model itself's not too bad. It's where the minifigs really start to let the set down. The other side of this as well is this is a complete knockoff off of LEGO. I mean, if you guys want to buy Lepin, I can't tell you to buy it or not buy it. I can just show you guys the quality of it. But yeah, this is a complete ripoff of LEGO. This is hurting LEGO. So yeah, this definitely doesn't make it. What we're gonna actually do is do a drop test to see how she fares against it. We're gonna do it on the table, unlike on the floor, so a little bit different. And again, if you guys have any thoughts about this, whether you think it should make it or not, let me know in the comments. I'm always interested to know your guys' opinions, whether you're a LEGO guy or if you're a Lepin guy. Let me know what you think about Lepin. Anyways, let's get this set up to do the drop test. So what we're going to kind of do here is we're going to drop it on the table like we've been talking about. We're going to film it on this tripod, and we're going to drop it from about the ceiling. So I'd say that's about a 6 or 7 foot kind of drop, which is kind of crazy. And I'll be standing on this. That's how I'm going to reach up that high. Anyways, this should be interesting. Let's drop her. Well, that was fun. I always enjoy doing those. As you can see, it actually held up pretty well. Like, this thing did not destroy all that much. It didn't go too many places either, but R2 went adventuring down there, and I think there's some pieces down here. I'm gonna have to find all of them now, but yeah, always enjoy doing those. Again, if you guys have any suggestions for how to destroy fake LEGO, let me know. I just like doing drop tests. It's kind of my thing. I don't want to do it on my real LEGO sets, but I'll definitely do it on a Lepin set. Anyways, that's all I got for you today, but if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future Make It or Break It episodes. I'm thinking of also doing a non-LEGO series, maybe doing Mega Blocks and like probably Dragon Block, they'd fall into that. But yeah, that pretty well does the video. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.